I've been shopping for some annuals, and it's time to record that information in my garden journal, which I keep in OneNote. And today I also want to show you how to do some quick calculations. So stay with me. Well, hi everyone, this is Crystal from A Crystal Clear Life, where we focus on planning, organizing, and living a more simplified life. And today I want to talk to you about some plants that I bought for the deck pots. And I also want to show you how I'm keeping track of some of that stuff, of course, in OneNote, in my garden landscaping journal. And today I want to show you some quick calculations. So if that sounds interesting to you, please go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. Hit that subscribe button if you have not already. Turn those notification bells all the way on so you don't miss any upcoming videos. And with all of that out of the way, please let's go ahead and get started with today's video. Well, as you can see here on my screen, I am working in my favorite life management tool. That happens to be OneNote from Microsoft. And I have a landscape planner notebook that you see that I have open here. I have lots and lots of sections in this notebook, but the one that I've been using most recently is my plant list. Now, during the cold months of the winter, I was dreaming and making plans and listing plants that I wanted to try and going back through my photographs and looking at plant combinations that I liked and writing down some things that I needed to pick up as I was out and about this spring. So what you see here on my screen on the far left-hand side are some new plants that I wanted to try, or some plants that I know that I love, like lantana. And then I also have the edibles, the vegetables and things that I wanted to purchase here. And I was kind of making a list of those in the space that I have and the pots that I have and all of that kind of stuff. So once the warm weather hit and I went out and started shopping, I then started making a list of the things that I had already purchased, so I didn't repurchase on accident. And I also wanted to keep track of the cost of those items to make sure that I was staying on budget. Okay? All right, so let me talk to you a little bit about this particular table that you see right here. So what I did is I just created a 5-column table. I went up to the insert menu, inserted a table, 5 across, however many down, and that gave me a blank table to work with, okay? Then I went in and put my titles at the top, and I did some color shading up here. So you can go up to color shading. You can choose whatever color you would like. I just happened to pick this standard green because it is, garden themed. And then what I started doing is I made a list of the item that I purchased, where it was going to be planted, because I don't know about you guys, but when I get into a garden center and I see all these beautiful plants, I want one of this and one of that and 2 of this and 3 of that. And, before you know it, you got $400 worth of plants sitting there, which not something that I can afford. So what I like to do is think about where I'm going to put these things, what the location is, and then how many I'm going to need. For example, you can see here that I have lots of plants listed for my deck hosta pots. And I'll put a little picture up here to show you what I'm talking about with those. And what I decided is I love the way the hosta comes up in the pots, and then it has all this beautiful room underneath of it. So I started a couple of years ago planting pansies in the pots while the hosta were still dormant and under the soil. Then the hosta will come up and start to grow their leaves and give shade to the pansies. And eventually the pansies will not like the heat of the summer. So what I do is I take those pansies out and I replace them with usually white, just regular, summer impatiens. These guys, these beautiful little guys. That just grow and grow and grow. And I can get a cell pack of these. There are 8 little plants in here. And this happened to be from Lowe's, and they were $3.98. Actually, they were having a sale. They were $2.50 for this cell pack. You can't beat that, right? All right, so I picked up some of those, and actually I picked up 5 of those because there are parts of my deck in my yard that are very, very shady, and I know that I can use those white impatiens, okay? So I have here on my list white impatiens for the deck hosta plants, and I needed 20 plants, and if they were in cell packs, you know, I put the number of plants that I needed because sometimes cell packs are just, you know, 6. Sometimes they're just 4. This one happened to be 8. So by putting the number of plants that I need, in this case 20 because I have 10 pots and I want to put 2 in each pot, by putting the number of plants that I need, that helps me when I'm in the store and I'm going, oh, this is only a 4-pack. How many did I need? Oh, wait. Oh, I better get 5 if I need 20 plants, okay? And the reason that I say this is helpful for me when I'm in the store is because if you're new here and you don't know, OneNote can be synced to the cloud and it can transfer to my phone or my iPad. So when I am out and about shopping, I always have all of the information that I need that I have stored in OneNote, okay? All right, so let's see. Actually, these came from Lowe's. I put Walmart there, and that is wrong. Let's do this. And we will copy that and paste away. There you go. Okay, the pansies I did buy, the pansies I did buy at Walmart. Bought those a while ago. All right, but I digress. What I wanted to show you today is the quick calculations, okay? So the purple pansies and the yellow pansies and all of that I bought, again, were in cell packs. So you can see here that I paid $3.98 for those cell packs. And what I ended up doing is I ended up getting 2 purples. Okay, so I'm going to put in the quantity of 2, and then I'm going to hit the equal sign. Now, in OneNote, it's not a big fancy spreadsheet. It's just a simple table feature. If I press the space bar after the equals bar, it will calculate that for me. So there you go. 2 of the sets of pansies were $7.96. Okay, so the yellow pansies I also got 2 packs of, and hit that equals and then the space bar, and again it will calculate that. Okay, so I think that's pretty cool. I love that feature. Now this is not, like I said, a big spreadsheet that I'm trying to keep forever and ever. It's really just for me to kind of keep track of what I'm spending and make sure that I am on budget. Could I turn this whole thing into a spreadsheet? Yes, I could. I could go up and do the insert spreadsheet thing that I have done before to show you. There are videos on that if you'd like to see that. And within a spreadsheet, I could do all kinds of calculations. But for me, for this purpose, it's really easy just to use this quick calculations. Okay. Now, I went again to Lowe's and I bought some vegetables. So I have my edible vegetables over here. I wanted cayenne peppers, so I was able to pick those up. So let me copy that information and I'll just pull it over here into my chart. And I did buy 2 of those. So I'll put the quantity of 2 there. And they are going to be grown in pots inside the greenhouse. Okay. So there. And then the cayenne peppers, let me find that on my receipt. The cayenne peppers were on sale for $3.33. So I'm going to put my dollar sign, $3.33 times 2 equals and space bar. Okay. Now, where did I get those? I got those from Lowe's. All right. Now, the other thing that I did is once I buy something, I like to highlight it and, you know, show me that that's done. I don't need to do that anymore. Okay. And then I was also able to get a green pepper. Now, that's also going to grow in the pot in the greenhouse. It was the same price. from Lowe's. So I wanted to show you this trick as well. If I highlight this entire row and I say copy, I can come down here in the very next row and I can say paste or Control V to paste. And instead of a cayenne pepper, this one is a green pepper. And I only got one of those, so I can just change that. I can change this, but I want you to notice it does not change the calculation right here. It does not automatically change that like it might do in Excel. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to erase that and then hit the space bar again and let that come up. Okay? So a quick calculation. Now, what I wanted to also show you is it doesn't just have to be one of these very simple, add, subtract, multiply, or divide. I can add all of these things together and get myself a little total down here if I want to. Okay, so let me show you that. I'm going to go up here and I'm going to copy this with Control C, and I'm going to put it down here with Control V, and then my plus sign. And I'll do the next one, Control C, Control V, and my plus sign. And the next one. Now, some of you may be very good at doing math in your head, and you do the rounding and you just say, okay, well, that's $8 and that's $8 and that's $16, when you add those two together. And I am not one of those people. I can do a few things like that, but if I want to kind of keep a running total in my head, it is much easier for me to be able to see it, okay? Now, my big purchase here, you can see, was the geraniums that I bought for the back deck, and they're really pretty. Look at that beautiful red color, and look how full and lush they are. This was one of those Costco, they had an 8-pack of these 4-inch pots, and that will fill up those big pots that I keep around on the deck very nicely. So I know that seems like a lot for geraniums, but it really wasn't a bad price, okay? I'm going to leave out the sedum because it is not an annual. The sedum is something that will be there forever and ever. And do that one. And let's do this last one down here. Okay, so now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different prices. 8, 7, 8. 8. See, math is not my strength. All right, so then when I get down here and I have all of those things added together, I can hit equals and the space bar. And so far I have spent $77.97. Now, I usually allot myself about $100 to $125 for my annuals that I put on the deck and the vegetables, which I used to grow on the deck until we got the little greenhouse. And so kind of that, that $100, $125 to be able to do that. So I can see that I'm well within my budget, but I also know that I have other things that I need to pick up. Actually, that I have picked up that I just need to continue to record here. I did go ahead and buy 1 pack of cucumbers because the pack that I bought had many, many, many seeds in them that had all germinated, and I thought, I can't, if I buy 2 packs, that's way too many, all right? And I did get my 4 to 6 tomato plants. Basil, I started from seed. I have 2 kinds. I have sweet basil, and I have a dark opal basil, which is a really deep purple. I think that's going to be absolutely beautiful. I did buy 1 little cell pack of yellow squash. Lettuce I bought in the springtime, and I have been eating on that. Spinach as well. We've been going out and harvesting what we need for our salads, and that's kind of fun. And I also bought a pack of marigolds. So I think I am finished with the edible things that I need for my garden. When I look at plants, probably the one thing that I might still want to get is some New Guinea impatiens in white, if I can find them. I think they'll look really pretty with the geraniums that I have here. I like the red and white together, and with the other white impatiens for the shade of the deck. The New Guinea impatiens will handle the sun, so that's kind of nice. If not, I might get some white Vinca Major just as a little pop of white in each of those pots. Okay? All right. Well, now I wanted to show you one more thing about this table. You may be looking at this table and saying, well, Crystal, you just said you bought all of these things that you have to put in there, but your table is full already. Well, I can simply go in and highlight, let's see, I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I can highlight a bunch of columns and rows like that. And I can go to the table feature. And when I go to the table feature, it will say insert rows above or below. I want to put them below because I want to put the vegetables down there. And you see, it just makes my table bigger for me to use, okay? So then I can go in and I can say, all right, well, I want to put this cucumber in there. So we're going to copy that and we'll paste it in there. I don't need the highlighting, so I'll turn that off. And then I can go on and add all of those plants, all right? And down here at the bottom, let's say that cucumber bush was, it was $5.98 for the 6-pack of cucumbers. Okay, so if I have $5.98, I don't even need to multiply that because it's times 1 and I only got 1 pack. That's okay, but I can go down here and take this total away and add plus $5.98 if I want. Like that. And then when I do my total, come to the end and hit the space bar. Oh, I have an equal sign in there, don't I? Yep. Instead of an addition sign. And then put my equals, space bar, and now I'm at $83. Okay, so I'm probably getting close to that goal. All right. And again, like I said, this works when you are on your phone, standing in Lowe's or standing in the nursery or standing in Home Depot or wherever, and you want to see how much have I spent? Oh, I've only got about $20 more to spend, to stay within my budget for this summer. And then you have an idea when you're looking at plants, how you might be able to stretch those plants or what you can actually purchase. Okay. I don't think a lot of people know about this quick calculations, but it does work great for me. So you may be asking yourself, well, does it work for subtracting or dividing? Let's just do a couple and see. I'll just use this blank space that I have here. Let's say I'm buying something for $50 and that is divided by 8 things. And how much is that per thing? $6.25. So it works for division. Let's say $9.95 minus $4.50 equals $5.45. Okay, so subtraction works. You can do mixed things. So you can do 3 plus 7 minus 6. So that should be 4, right? And spacebar 4, it is correct. Okay, so you can do multiple operations. It works with all of those. Let's see, 7. Let's use the star. And 21. So the star works or the X works for the multiplication sign. Okay. All right. So some quick calculations today that might be handy and helpful for you to use. Well, wait, you might be saying, does it have to be in a table? Nope, doesn't have to be in a table. You can do quick calculations anywhere. All right, well, I'm going off on a tangent again. Thanks for joining me today. I really appreciate it. I hope you learned something new. I hope you find a use for these quick calculations in your OneNote notebooks that you are using. I certainly use mine a lot, especially in my garden notebook and especially in my crafting notebook when I am measuring and calculating how much materials are costing for a quilt and that kind of thing. Okay? All right. Well, Thanks very much for watching. I appreciate you all very much. If you have not subscribed, I would appreciate it greatly if you would subscribe. Share this video with anybody that you think that might find it useful. And until next time, here's hoping that you can live a more simplified and organized life through better planning. I use OneNote. Until next time, okay, bye. Now I've got to get back to work.